Hi, Cariza. So this task is going to go in conjunction with the recipe PDFs that I've created, that you've created. Basically, maybe a week after I post about each recipe, then I'd like you to add it to the website. Um, Actually, you could probably add it immediately. Whenever we have a recipe that you're creating a PDF for, that's like specifically mine, like a specific recipe like the pork carnitas one. Then I want you, once you're done, to add that to my website slash blog, and I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So I'll share my screen with you. Okay, so this is where you get when you log into my website. I put it in the WordPress website. Here's the link to get in, the username, and then the password is right here. So you'll log in and it will look like this. Basically, what you'll do is you'll go to the dashboard. And when it's a recipe, you'll just go to this recipe section and then hit add new. So then you'll add the new recipe, and basically it would be the name of whatever that recipe was. And then I'd just, kind of, if I give you text to write about it, you can write something in, but you don't even have to write anything in here. It would just be like a lead-in sentence or two, but for right now, just leave that blank. And all you do is you go add recipe box. So I click the add recipe box, and it should show recipe here, but you just need to scroll down, and then you'll fill in this section. So you'll add the title, and you can leave it blank if it's the same thing, but I think I always just add it in. Add that main image. You could put a description in here. Just kind of fill out what you can. If there is no prep time or cook time that's on those recipes, then don't, I'd rather have you not fill it in, or servings and stuff like that. But if you can calculate that out, like if it says that on some of the recipes, then do add it in. But the next piece is the ingredients. So you'll just type in the ingredients, then you add a new ingredient. And then right here are the instructions, and it goes within a step. So basically, you'd write preheat oven, right? And you could add an image there, but I don't think we have an image for that one. And then you just add another instruction. So it would just go down that list of whatever it was for that specific recipe that you created. Now for the pork carnitas, there was technically 2 recipes on there. Let me pull it up. So on here, there was, the stuffed sweet potato, but there's also this ranch dressing. And I'd like you to create 2 separate recipes and then link to the ranch dressing. So you might want to create the ranch dressing recipe first. So then when you're creating the actual pork carnitas one, then you could highlight this and link it to the ranch dressing recipe, so that there's not a ton of recipes on one page. That would be my recommendation in that sense. Let's see. I hope I'm being descriptive enough. The first time, it's always going to be the most complicated. But recipe notes, see, that's where I would put in add my preferred toppings. That was this section. So my fave toppings, that's what I'd put in the notes, because that way you can like preferred toppings. You know, if I was doing this, I'd type it out like it is on there, but then I'd ranch, whatever. And then what you could put is, you know, clean ranch dressing, or, you know, whatever. Let's see, then you'd highlight it, then you just click this insert link, and then you could link it to whatever the actual page was for the ranch dressing. Now, if you're not familiar, maybe I should go through this one. Let me know and I can go through an actual recipe for you. If you're not familiar with kind of this WYSIWYG pieces of it. I know you said you had done blogs before, but it's pretty easy. If you just click this link button, it will show up. So then you'd go through. I don't really focus too much on this, but if you know more about it, then that's awesome. So then once it's done, well, before it's done, always make sure that you click blog and then click recipes, and then this would be probably a dinner or a lunch. I'd check both of those if they could be a dinner or a lunch. That way it will put them into the appropriate categories actually on the website, so people can sort by lunch recipes, dinner recipes, and then it will also show up on the blog. The other key piece is to add tags. So this would just be like typing in keywords, so like sweet potato. So this is when people search on the internet, it would trigger, like if somebody searched sweet potato recipes, it would be more likely to come up in the feed because this is the tag that's with it. Or Whole30, because this is technically a Whole30 recipe. And then you'd add that in. You could add in, you could choose from these most recent tags too. So like clean eating or easy recipe, clean, healthy eating, you know, just click on these and then it will add those tags. And then the other piece of this is the featured image. So don't forget to do the featured image. So that would be uploading that main image that we used into the this area, and then you would just add it so that that way it shows up as the main image on the page and up in the title. Now, if you want to see what another recipe looks like, I'm just going to go over to, and that's usually how I do things. At first I like look to see what I have done, and then I'm like, oh, how did I do that one? So you could always go into a past recipe and look. www.kate. So, for instance, here's the blog. And it's going to show recipes, other, you know, things that aren't recipes, things that I've wrote about that I haven't wrote about in a long time, which would be another task that I'm going to have you do. But then they also will pull up under this section, which is the recipe section. And people can sort through. So let's say, I don't even know what I have in here. Lunches. It will pull up right here. Now, some of these are old. I just added this recipe box. So just go to this most recent oven roasted chickpeas. But that featured image will add this image up to the top area. It doesn't have to be perfect. But that way it will also add it in right here. What I would like you to do is to add a few other images. Sorry, I'm super tired. Add some other images. And I've added those to that drive. I think I clicked out of my drive. So you can find more images for the recipe in that same area that I added it for the PDF. So virtual assistant. I hope I'm describing this well, because if I'm not, let me know, but I can redo it. So I've added in some other pictures. So I added a picture of the ranch dressing. So you could use that for the ranch dressing recipe. I've just added in some recipes from when I was actually cooking it that you can use as well on there. But obviously this would be the featured image right here. So then once you're done, just click, and maybe I'll just look over your first one just to make sure, you know, that it all was done, because I haven't done one in a long time either, so it's been a while. But if I were to type in pork carnitas, this should pop up a permalink, like you'd want it to be pork carnitas. So then I could actually give people this recipe or this link instead of like that number that was on there. So just check that too. Oh, what I wanted to mention is you could put those extra images in this section. You know, you could kind of just list them out or stack them in this area, or you could put them down in the notes section, or there's this area that's like the add image, so you could do that as well too. I like having the big images on the page, and I've never done the add images in this instruction section. I'm imagining that they're going to be small and kind of boring. So I think it'd be kind of cool to up here add all of those images, you know, like just kind of like, you don't even have to put anything by them, just put all the images on there, and then people will continue to scroll, and then it will lead them down. So like the images would be up here where I put this content, but then they would scroll down to get this actual recipe. I think that's it. So once you're done, hit save, and then just shoot me over that link and I'll take a look at it. And we'll go from there. I hope to have more recipes to you here soon, and then that will be kind of like something more consistent that we'll do, is creating the PDF and then also uploading some to the website, or all to the website, but creating some PDFs for kind of the really good ones. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to stop share, but let me know if you have any questions if I didn't describe this right, and I can redo it. So I hope you're having a good night and a good weekend, and I'll talk to you later.